Can you see my screen now?
Yes, of course, very well.
Okay, let me see if I can. You see this picture here?
Yeah.
Aidite.
Even
Okay,
your
so
arrow.
Perfect. So that's also working. Wow. Okay, good morning to all our colleagues and friends around the world. I've seen, lots of people from India to you name it have joined us to the big, let's say, art tech family, which is really, really growing now. And I was last few days in Korea. We're getting a few new members, and really all the people who are part of this big family. It's really fun to be with this family, and it's really nice because we pass information on which normally you would not hear, because we try to also give you internal information. So today they asked me to talk about the iOS, the Elegant 3 camera scanner. And I must say, for me, it is the best. It's not because we aren't here art tech or whatever. It is the best iOS at the moment on the market. Our lab, we do now about 80% of our work comes in digitally. That means we get scans from Sirona, from TreeShape, from Carestream, from Medit, Itero, from all the systems we get scans. And so we have about, I checked just now, about 6,000 cases digitally, which we have done, which had come in over the last 3 years. And so I have now lots of, I can compare a lot evidence-based, I can compare. So that is one of the nice things with me, that I can compare the scans and the quality and what we do. And I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to the scanner with a few PowerPoint, and then just show you a few things on the scanner, which is maybe you should know. And if you are a lab owner, if you're a dentist, it is really fantastic. If you're a lab owner, try to push this to your dentists. This is a door opener for us to all the dentists. So we really go to the dentist, we show them, and we do the support for those dentists from our laboratory. So we get all the work. So keep that in mind. It is really a game changer, the scanner. So, one second, I went the wrong direction. Here we go. Okay, about 35 years ago, that's when I did the first bridge. I was one of the first which did a bridge intraorally, and that was done with the CEREC system in 2D. And this was the original bridge which we did. I still have the photos from that time, and you see the connectors are wrong. If you look at the surface, it was terrible. And we said we need a software update, and they asked, what do you need? I said we need a sausage in between here as a connector. So the first update was a sausage which we got, and then we said no, we need the sausage. We have to make like an anatomical shape. So that's the way we started 35 years ago. Everybody laughed at me. They said, CAD/CAM, forget it. It's never going to happen. And now it's like become standard. And but really very interesting. The only thing which has changed on the cameras and everything is basically how fast the software has been running. The PCs now with the new processors make big changes. We all know these kind of situations. Fantastic prep, huh? You can see how nice this prep is. Okay, no, BS. Okay, these are the problems which we all have everywhere in the world. Okay, not only in Switzerland. I mean, you name it, you get a scan or not a scan, you get an impression, and the impression has maybe some problems, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to call the dentist again and tell him, look, I don't know where the prep line is. I don't know what you have prepped here. I'm sure you have made a nice preparation, but your impression was terrible. Okay, so this is the situation which in the past many of us have been having or still have at the moment nowadays. Terrible impressions like you see here, and we hate this. We don't like this at all. So intraoral scanning has become very, very interesting to solve these kind of problems. Because with intraoral scanning, instantly the dentist sees what's going on. Some dentists still don't see it, okay? Also with intraoral scanning. But actually, when you train them, they realize, and then they start being more careful. So we get actually better quality work nowadays with the intraoral scanning. For you to know, there are two types. One is the intraoral scanning with the milling machines, like you see here, chairside versions. The other one is standalone intraoral scanners. And we want to talk today about the standalone intraoral scanners because they have much more potential than the chairside units. Okay, let's go on here. Ah, I went the wrong direction, sorry. I hit the wrong button. Some people say, you know, about intraoral scanning. Actually, there is no bad intraoral scanner on the market, okay? It is the person who's using the scanner who has to know how to use it. That's why we can't say there is a bad intraoral scanner. It's the operator who is the good or not good. So the goal for the person who's using the intraoral scanner is that he can learn it very fast in a few steps, okay? Maybe after 5-10 minutes showing, and that it is easy to use. That is the goal of the intraoral scanning. And there's so many intraoral scanners on the market. You know, we have so many different models on the market, and every company claims they have the best. You know, Sirona says they have the best, the most accurate. Then now 3Shape comes with a new version with the wireless and blah, blah, blah. And the next company comes with this and that. And, you know, everybody is just doing a marketing job. So just be kind of careful when you hear all these stories on the intraoral scanners. Basically, first of all, it's the operator who has to use it. And then the scanners naturally has points which are important to know why to select a certain scanner. Okay. For accuracy, I would say most of the scanners nowadays are pretty accurate. You know, we don't get really inaccurate scanners anymore. Okay, the quality of the scanners are pretty good. Resolution, this is something, it's a marketing point, okay? Getting more or less resolution. You really don't see that on the scanning quality, you know, because once you have an STL data, you don't see a big difference of the resolution of the scan. Then the sensitivity to the object surface, there are still some differences here, that some of the scanners are more sensitive, that you have to put in some of them powder and those kind of things. So this is also, some of the scanners have problem. This is very, very important. Openness, I'll talk about this, how easy to use, price, and how to learn. Okay, let's have a look, okay? We're going to talk about the Elegant 3 today, this new scanner from Aidite, and a few points. Very important to know is that the scanner has 2 cameras inside, okay? Inside this scanner, there are 2 cameras. Most of the other scanners which you saw before, none of them have 2 cameras. That's why we have such a fantastic accuracy. The triangulation which is done with the 2 pictures gives us much, much better quality of scans. That is very, very important to know. Then something also very, very important is the depth of field. You know, we have 22 millimeters. So this can compete with all the systems on the market, 22 millimeters. So it's a very nice depth of field, and the weight is also, it's very, very light. But something very important, and I always emphasize on this, we have a complete open system, STL, OBJ, PLY. So we have any type of output. Very, very, very important. Okay. So if we look at these scanners here, what we see here is, first of all, with this scanner here, we have a small and a large tip, okay? Sometimes with many of the scanners, let's say you have the Sirona scanner, the scanner is, or the Aidite, it's so big up front here, small children have a problem. You can't get really back to the last molars because it's so huge, okay? So we have 2 types, a small and a big one. Accuracy, because we have 2 cameras, very, very accurate. And that's why naturally also powderless. The colors which we have with the scanner, you can compare it to some of the other scanners. The quality of the color is also fantastic. So OBJ files, PLY files are in color, and that's very, very high quality color. Lightweight, this is lightweight is because we have a cable here. If we would have an internal battery like wireless, then the scanners get much more heavier. And they also have sometimes problems with connecting to the system, the wireless ones. High speed, this is becoming more and more important. How fast can we scan? And I can really say we can scan a jaw under 1 minute now. So it's absolutely one of the fastest scanners on the market. Another very important point, soft tissue removal, okay? It's got the AI mode, artificial intelligence mode, and removes all the debris, all the things when you scan. The worst scans which we have been getting now in our laboratory are from Sirona. Sirona scanner, which everybody says is fantastic. I think it's one of the worst scanners on the market. Sorry to say that, but it is like that because we get so much debris around the scans. I'll show you that later on. And what we have here with the artificial intelligence is really fantastic. The user-friendly interface is very, very nice. So basically, it's very simple to start scanning. Nowadays, if you look some of the other scanners like a Medit, there's so much information you have to put in. And dentists only want to scan, okay? When they do an impression, what do they want to do? They take the impression, put it in the mouth, take it out, and that's it, okay? So I don't want to put so much information into this, and I don't want the interface, which has got so much information, I have to add into it. So that's why very user-friendly. The open output system, I mentioned that before, this is very, 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 very important. Because of this open output, we also have no licensing fee. We see that happening now. 3Shape, everywhere in the world, their sales are dropping dramatically because nobody wants to pay the licensing fee every year. Every year, you have end of the year comes, you have to pay for the license for the 3Shape system. Here we don't have that. You do updates. We just got an update this morning, and I just updated it. No, I didn't get any payment or anything like that. Same with Aidite. You have to pay always a licensing fee. Sirona, officially you don't pay a licensing fee, but you have to be a member of the club, which is, or you should be a member. They say to get all kind of information, so it's a hidden licensing fee. Okay. Scanner has a very high resolution.
Or in Sirona, Vanik, you need to pay to the generate Estel. you forgot it. This is always
exactly.
Because you need to upgrade the license in Sirona to generate the Estel. Otherwise, their RSD team and they block it only in the system. Sorry.
And the thing is also with Sirona, very good point, Wojciech, is they don't allow you to get OBJ files. They will not allow you OBJ files or PLY, Sirona, only STL. So you can never work in color if you're using Exocad.
Exactly. So only in Sirona system you can work it. That's it.
Yeah, and so you can only get it in STL, okay? Then we have the scanner has a very, very easy calibration, okay? You plug it in and it does everything automatically, and a one-touch button system. So the new design is very, very interesting because the scanner is flat, sits very nicely in your hand, okay? It feels really, really nice. And something which is important, this part here, they've made very long. Okay, so the part where you are holding in your hand, this part here, stays away from the mouth. So you only have the tip which is going inside the patient's mouth, and you can design it much more elegant. Okay, the scanner compared like with the old one or compared to many others has only got 240 grams. So very, very light scanner, and naturally very flat, streamlined, and all that. So we can really say the scanner, the design of the scanner is very easy to handle for most of you, for everybody, very, very easy to handle. And like I said, this front part is nice and long. If you compare some of the tips, you know, this is symbolic, like Aidite scanner, or you know, some of the 3Shape scanners, their tips are like huge, you know. So when you go in the patient's mouth, basically it's very, very difficult to get to the last molar. We have a combination of a bigger one and a smaller tip. So the size of our tip, we have two possibilities to scan with. And sometimes I change tip during scanning. You can just remove the tips, change it, continue. If I have a problem with a small child getting to my last molar, then I just switch during the scan. You see here very nicely the standard tip and the mini tip. The mini tip basically is nice and small, very good for children, or very good also for people who don't like this big tip in their mouth. The the tip inside has got a connection, so it heats up. So there is no fogging, okay? The anti-fogging device stops it because of the heat inside the scanner. And you can up to about 100 times sterilize it, and they're not expensive. Just imagine if you have a Sirona scanner and you break the tip, it's a fortune what that costs, okay? So that's why, you know, we have here something not very expensive. Then the scanner is about the scan range compared to the old scanner is about 58 to 60% larger. So we have a very large scan area compared to the previous one, compared to the Medit, you know, to the 600 or so. We are also a bit bigger than theirs. And the depth of field, very important how deep you can go, okay? So we have one button touch. You start here, and basically you can control everything with one button. This artificial intelligence scanning is really, it is fantastic. Huh? The new user interface, I will show that afterwards in the software. I'll go through that really quickly, is also very, very, very simple. So I'm not going to talk too much about this. What we have here is also the possibility to, the scanner has got sensors inside it. So it's like a air mouse. You can say forwards, backwards, everything by gestic, okay? So it's got those sensors inside it. The problem is it's nice to have, it's in there, but personally, I don't use it. But if you would not have it, people would say the other systems have it. So it's inside there, but like I said, I don't use it because I don't need it. And this is what we get like on many of our Sirona scans. We get this, you know, all these debris around it, all this, because their artificial intelligence, what you want to call, is not very good. They don't really have a good thing like that. So they're working on it. So the dentists have to cut it, and many dentists don't know how to cut because it's the assistants who scan. So we get a lot of scans like this from Sirona. The Aidite scans always come out very nicely from the Cameo system. And because of the AE, artificial intelligence, this is without artificial intelligence. You see there's debris around it here, everywhere. With the artificial intelligence, it's nice and clean. So this is one of the biggest advantages. But you have to be careful. Sometimes this artificial intelligence can also have some problems. Let's say you're doing a demo and you have it switched on and you have a gypsum model, then it has a hard time to scan because it's looking for white and pink. And the gypsum model is maybe a white color or yellow color. Then you have to switch the artificial intelligence off when you're scanning gypsum models. Or let's say you have some really, really rotten tooth or certain areas where there's maybe, let's say, difficult to recognize, then you have to switch it off or on, okay? So you have to see it yourself, and you can switch it off during the scanning, on and off. It is one of the most accurate scanners you can find on the market now. And these tests are just coming out. Most of the universities are doing testing. I saw some tests from Daniel Baktic from Croatia, which they're not published as yet. And it shows it's far, far superior than the Sirona scanner, which they say is the best. And I think this is again because we have two cameras built into it. For us, you know, how do we define accuracy? For us, accuracy is, you know, low accuracy. When you shoot on a target, you hit the target and you have everywhere your bullets, okay? Then low accuracy is, but high precision is you shoot on that target and you hit the target, but all your bullets are in the same area. So it's very precise, but it's not so accurate, okay? So high accuracy is here, but low precision. And we want high accuracy and high precision. So we hit into the thing. And what we mean with that is on a repeatable base, that when we scan, we can scan always on a repeating base. The color which we get on these scans are very, very good. We have a very good quality scan color compared to many of the others. We also have a Medit scanner here, and we see the big, big difference. Metal scanning also works excellent. Any type of metal works excellent, okay? And one of the fastest scanners on the market, okay? So Basically, I always say, you can scan a whole single jaw under 1 minute. Some people say we can do it in 25 seconds. Sure, you can do that. It's just how much routine you have. We have the clinical toolkit. What this toolkit means, I'm not going to go into it, is you can, the dentist can draw the prep margin. It can show you the undercuts, all those kind of things. So most of the dentists don't have time because they're a system scan, and then they don't have time to draw the prep margin. So you don't have to use it if you don't want, but it is all there. Patients really love it. They are always, and I go to the dental office to scan, the patients always say, wow, this is fantastic. You have the AccuDesign in here, so you can already design your model for printing. So you can basically design it that you have a model and you can print it. This is for dentists who want to maybe print a quick model or something in the dental office, but in the laboratory, we are not really interested in this because we import it to Exocad, and then in Exocad, we do our crown, and then we design our articulator on it, and then we print the model. So it's a nice gimmick to have that you can say, I want to do my model, but we don't really need this. Huh? So it's very, it's very simple to design your model with the scanner, easy. But we also have to do the crown. But it's built in, it's there. If you want to do it, you can do it. Okay. Then there's auto simulation. This auto simulation is here, which can show you easily how you can set up the teeth. But be careful, don't believe these things. This is just simulation. All the systems nowadays, they try to say, oh, you can do auto simulation. The software will even, correct if somebody's jaw is really in front, you can correct that. But in the mouth, you can't do that. So be very careful. There is a lot of fake things going on. People are saying you can do this. Sure, you can do this, but you can only do it when you do the real, let's say you have Maestro 3D software, where you can really check everything for auto simulation. So these are auto simulations like all the systems, like TreeShape has, like Medit has. So we have it, yes, we have it, but you can use it. Then people say you can check your oral health, you can see the tissue area and all that. Yes, sure, you can do that because of the quality of the pictures. But again, we are only interested to get a fantastic scan and a fast scan. And for that, this machine is one of the best. And again, something very, very important with this scanner is the price. This is very, very interesting. The price of the scanner, nobody in the world can really compete with such a high quality scanner for such a low price. And if somebody asks me what's the price, you have to check with your local dealer, because your local dealer, they have their prices, and every country is a little bit different. But I can say nowadays many of the scanners are sold under $10,000 in many parts of the world. So usually the dealers work out some kind of a deal. You buy X amount of silicon oxide, or you buy glass blocks or whatever, and then they give you a good discount on the scanners. But the scanner should be under $10,000 nowadays, most of the places. Okay. Then the dental cloud is the way you would send your case to the laboratory, and the laboratory can basically open it. In the dental cloud, you can see information, statistics, and those kind of things. So, but again, we are not interested in this. Okay. What we want to do is we just want to basically scan and start, doing our crowns and bridges in the laboratory. I have developed a platform. It's called Dots for All. This platform is basically to communicate between the dental laboratory and the scanner for all scanners, for TreeShape, Sirona, Medit, Carestream, Shining. So our platform is a platform which has now just been introduced here in Switzerland and in Germany. And with this, we can now organize all our laboratory work. So this is the next generation lab communication with the dentist. This was an idea I had about 5 years ago, and now it's been perfected. Okay. So this was the first part of the presentation. Let's see. Okay, stop. Now I want to show you. Can I do this? I think I have to do it like this, huh? I have to open the software. Let me open the screen again. Here we go. So you see the screen here, and I have the scanner here. I think you should be able to see the scanner. I hope so, because I don't see any picture there. Let me see if I can see it myself. Okay, doesn't matter. Here is the software down here, Dental Launcher. I double click on this. Do you see this, what's happening here on your screen? I guess so, huh?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. All right. Then here, this is the startup screen. This is the newest software. This would be for calibration back here. Stupid thing here. For calibration here, if you would like to calibrate the furnace, you would base at the scanner. You open here, and then you basically remove the tip. There is this holder which comes with the scanner. You push the scanner in here, you press the start button, and it starts calibrating. Okay, you just leave the scanner with this calibration part on the table, and it would calibrate it. Okay, I don't have it. I have 11 days left, because when this becomes red, then it knows, please do the calibration. So this is a start screen when we start. So the first thing you do is you just sign up, sign in, and start here with Vanik, confirm. So these are cases, here are a few cases which you see. And so this is our screen, new folder. You can import naturally from another folder, the order list or the patient list. And if you want to do a new case or just delete a case, you can delete a case here just by pressing delete this local folder. Yes, so I've deleted that. Huh? Okay, or create a new folder here. And it says, what do I need to know? The order number, type of visit, first visit to the dentist. I always leave this. I put the patient name in here, test. Okay, and now when you put test in, you have to go to this new patient and put minimum the age into it. Okay, so I just put an age 22, and I confirm it. Sure, you can put the contact information, say male, female, but people are not interested. Many people want to have it, but many also don't want to have it. Okay, they just want to scan. So here you could put all that information in. So the only thing I put in nowadays is the age, 22, for example, confirm it. And now I'm ready to start scanning. Now, what do I want to do? I can scan restorations like you see here. Okay. I can scan implant situations here or orthodontics. So normally I tell the dentist, just say it's orthodontics, even if it's a restoration. Why do I do that? Because this way the dentist doesn't have to think too much. He just press orthodontics and he can start scanning. Let's say you are already scanning for some time and you have become a good scanner, then you can say restoration, because if you select restoration, you have to say which tooth is in the restoration. So normally when we get the conventional impression, the impression doesn't say which tooth has been prepped. Okay, so that's why I always say orthodontic is like a conventional impression. When you get that scan, you see which one has been prepped. But if you want to be perfect, then you say from the beginning which one has been prepped, like a restoration. Huh? So, okay, I'll do it the right way now here, because I'm showing it to you. So let's say restoration. I go to this tooth here, and then you say it's a crown or it's an inlay or whatever. Okay, let's say it would be crown, full crown, automatic gets selected. You save it. That's all what you do. You can actually say what material you want a pre-op scan before, all those kind of things. No, we just want to scan a prep. Save it and scan. That's all what we want to do, huh? So this is all what we first want to do, save it and scan. Now comes our scan window. And in our scan window, basically we have three things. The upper jaw here, which is highlighted, says scan the upper jaw. This would be scan the lower jaw, and this would be scan the bite. Okay, but we are starting in this case with the upper jaw. You can also start with the lower jaw if you want first. Okay, so if you start with the lower jaw, but you've used the upper jaw, let's say you made a mistake, very easy on this button here, you can swap the jaws. So you can say, okay, no, I made a mistake. So after scanning, you can just say, move the lower to the upper or the upper to the lower if you have selected the wrong one. Okay, so you don't have to rescan everything. So you select the upper jaw. Now, on the scanning, how do we scan? You know, so I don't know if you can see this here because I have no screen of yours. Is very important when you scan is that you keep the scanner like this. Can you see this? Don't keep the scanner like this or like this. You know, keep it like this. That's very, very important, huh? And the next thing that you want to do is you want to scan like this and go forwards. And when you do it like this, why do I do it like that? Just let me just show you quickly. What's very, very important is that in the first scan, you always get a little bit of this edge here, okay? A little bit of this edge, a little bit of this edge here, okay? This is very, very important. If you get a little bit of the edge on the first scan, and afterwards you come from buccal or from lingual, it's very easy for the scanner to put the pictures together, that it's not too high or too low. And this, with the Elegant 3, is always working excellent. We have this problem very often with the tree shape that we get like steps in our scan, that they're not matched perfectly. This problem we really don't have here, okay? So let me just destroy this picture once more, reset it, okay? Clear the current data. So once I just want to show you, I'll do it 2-3 times. When you get the scanner and you get this brown thing on the screen, that square, then you go here like this, and you go like this. Left and right, okay? So what I tried to do was, I tried to get everywhere here. This is the minimum which we want here, like this. If you have a little like this, that's enough afterwards, that there'll be no problem. So it's this fast you should scan. You know, most of people, so it's like 103 pictures. Okay, let me destroy this. Most of the people do the mistake. They go and then they scan and they stay too long. You know, they go really careful. Don't do this. Too many pictures are not good. The less pictures you have, the better it is. Okay, so don't go like this. I have one dentist, he's complaining the scanner is too fast. Okay, he's staying on that area and he's scanning and scanning and scanning, turning slowly like this and scanning and going very slowly. And you know, he's very careful, like you see here, but he's already got 264 pictures. You know, this is too much pictures to start. Maybe in the beginning, yes, your goal is to go really fast. That's the first thing you want to do. Okay, so your first thing you want to do, again, let's repeat this, is you go here, you put your camera here like this. Okay. That's the first thing you want to do. The next thing, once you've done this, you put the camera back here and you just go around from the inside. The next thing you do, you put the camera front and you go from the front. Okay, that's the way you want to start. And now you can start fixing all the mistakes. Okay, we've got 192 pictures, and now we can see where the green areas are. And it's very easy to fix these green areas. Okay, so basically you could go and fix them by just taking the camera and you say, okay, let me start here, fix this one here, fix this one here. And you know, now you can take your time and fix all your mistakes. Okay, fix the contact there, fix the contact here. So that's the way you can do it. Now you see here, I've got debris here, I've got debris here. You know, this is because I don't have the artificial intelligence on. So let me show you the difference. Delete it, clear the data. If I put on artificial intelligence, now it's on, it's blue, and I scan. Now what you would see is we will have no debris around it. Okay, we have very clean scan. It's a little bit slower, the scan, because it's always fixing the data, but there is nothing outside here. It's nice and clean, the whole scan. To give you an idea, you will see it here on this picture. I'm putting my finger here. You see my finger is next to this molar here. I don't know if you can see it here on this picture on the left-hand side. And I'm scanning my finger, but on the scan, my finger is not showing up. You see that? My finger is not, it's artificial intelligence. It just scanned my finger. Okay, let me show you. If I switch off the artificial intelligence now, I switch it off, and I start scanning again. Look what's going to happen now with my finger. My finger is on it. Okay, so that's the big advantage of this artificial intelligence, that basically you don't have this situation. So what we don't get is the tongue or the cheeks or anything like that in this situation. Let me reset this all again. Okay, so to give you an idea, let me scan once more with the artificial intelligence on. If you're scanning with artificial intelligence and you want to scan a model, let's say a gyps model, like you see here, then you can have problems because it's yellow color or it's white color. And if you want to scan models, always switch artificial intelligence off. It's much easier, okay? Sometimes you have very, very black teeth or really dark teeth. It helps to switch off the artificial intelligence because then sometimes it doesn't recognize red and pink and white, okay? Pink and white. So it's always looking for those colors. That's why sometimes it's easier without artificial intelligence. But 99% I work with this, and sometimes if I have a difficult area to scan where I see it's not scanning that means this artificial intelligence is not as clever as all of us. It's trying to remove something. Then I just switch it off, scan that area only, and you see it adds all those pictures to it. So that's why you have to, this is such an important function. You have to work with this function all the time, okay? On and off, okay? I use this so much, okay? So let's see. Let's scan this now. So how I do it, I go here again, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then I go from the inside. I go from the outside. I made a very difficult model here because this model here is very shiny, okay? Normally, 95% of the scanners have problems because they have such a shiny model. It is highly shiny and it's nearly impossible for most of the scanners to scan this, okay? That's why I like showing this, that on a difficult model, very easy. So now I've done my first scan. I went, and this is a strategy of scanning. Okay, always start here, go around, then you go from the inside around and from the outside like that. That's your strategy. You know, some people scan like this so carefully, left, right, left, right, left, right. You're making too many pictures like that, okay? Now we can go and fix all those issues. We can see everything which is green is important for us. So on this case, normally you will see here, this will be like the, let's say the crown or the filling which you want to do. And so we would have to get this fixed. And I would not bother about these areas here anymore because this is where the crown is and the contact is also good. So, you know, the rest, the software would fix, you know, kind of okay. But if you want to be perfect, naturally you want to fix those areas. So I've made a model here. This is like a child model with a metal crown and an implant. The child never has an implant, so I can demonstrate everything. So let me go back again. I get the camera and I fix these issues here. So I go here, I go take the angle, change the angle. I change the angle there. I change my angle here. You know, so you're just changing basically your angle, okay? I'm touching the model here. Naturally, it would be good if you can stay 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters away from your model, okay? But if you touch your model, it's perfect. It's easier. Get the contact points there.
You see,
if you want the gum, just go around the gum here, and then basically you get your gum scanned. If you're having a problem, let's say sometimes when you're scanning and you're having a problem that it's not scanning, just the gum, you want it better to scan the gum, just basically switch on the artificial intelligence, and now you will see how easy it will scan this area here. Before it was stopping sometimes, and now it stops stopping. So now I fixed those areas. Let's say you have scanned it. hope this part's, yeah, this is perfect. This stayed here. If you want to say, okay, remove parts which have not been connected with the tooth here. So you go here, remove isolated data. You press here, it will remove any isolated data. So the data which was here in the air, it removed it, okay? Sure, we can add a scan here or add a scan here. If you want to cut something away, you have this button here, edit, and you have the lasso, you have the brush, and with the brush works the best. You just go over it and it cleans it, okay? If you want to cut something, you just go like that and you clean it, huh? So very, very easy to fix this. And if you say, no, I need to scan this area once more, you switch on the scanner and you go to this area here, it's fixed. You go to this area here, it's fixed, okay? So very, very easy fixing areas. Now you see it's not scanning because I have to switch it on. The square is there. Let's switch it on. All right. So let's say we are happy with the scan. Let's say everything is good. Then you go to this button here, say finish. Now we'll jump to the lower jaw. So I get the lower jaw here. I get my scanner again. I do the same thing here. Huh? I go to lower jaw. Like I said, the scanner is extremely fast. I didn't switch off the artificial intelligence here, so I'm getting all this debris around it, but it doesn't really matter. Let me switch it on again. Just to give you an idea. If I switch on the artificial intelligence now, I will not get all this debris. So for my, and you see, maybe you hear it, sometimes it stops a little bit because it takes time to calculate. Not really. Something very, very important also here. Try to do this with most of scanners. I'm scanning here and I'm jumping here and it continues here. It instantly finds it, okay? You see, I could go like crazy, okay? And it still finds it. Most of scanners, if you do this, will have a hard time, can't scan. It takes time to calculate it. The algorithm for matching the pictures is unbelievable with this scanner. It really scans very, very nicely. You know, the algorithm here is really fantastic. And you see here now, it's not scanning so nicely here. Then I just switch off the artificial intelligence. Okay, get this switched off. And now you'll see how easy it scans this area. Okay. So if you have any problem sometimes that it's maybe not scanning or so, just switch off the artificial intelligence. If you have a problem, let's say when you scan and you want to rescan, always look for an area which is very nice and which you see very strong. That means if there would be this is not bad to scan. Let's say you want to scan. Let's say you want to scan this area here. Always put your tip on here, okay, on the molar. So I'll get this off. I will just show you first. Let me switch off the scan possibilities. Okay. So normally put your tip always on the molar here or here, because here you have most of the fissures, and start from here to go to this point. Don't just go to this point here. Just start always the molar and try to keep everything like parallel, not like this and not like this. Okay. Parallel is the easiest. Okay. So when I go to this, when I switch this on and I go to the molar, then I can go to this point here, which was not good. Okay. So always look for an area which is very markant. Okay. Now something which is very, very interesting also is, let's say I finish my lower jaw. I hit the next button. Now it does the bite. So bite here works excellent. So you have 3 pictures, okay? Upper, lower, left, right, and in the middle. So you go here, just go to the model and go up and down. And you see it's already selected it. Then put the camera down or press the button, go to the other side, do the same thing. You have to go up and down to get the information. and do it like that. Okay. Now we have the last picture. You see here, this will be the central. Third bite. We do third bite. Okay. So basically you go here and you do it in front. So we have 3 points biting. That means we have a very, very nice occlusion. We can check the occlusion from here, if the contacts are there, if everything is here. So this is really, really nice. And then you say finish, and basically it optimizes the upper and the lower jaw. Okay. So this is really the whole key. There is nothing to it. And it always finds the bite. If we compare this to some of the other systems, like we get so many tree-shaped scans, which the bite is in different positions. It's not in occlusion. It's really a pain in the neck. We have to fix all the time those issues. So let me tell you, because the company who makes it for Aidite, the scanner, is Shining. And Shining is the largest scanner manufacturer in the world for auto industry, industrial scanners, and they know how to match surfaces. If you want to match a surface, it's very difficult. Okay. Dental, it's no problem because the surface is always like there are fissures inside it, there are cracks, all kinds of things. So it's very easy. There's enough information to match it. That's why the matching is excellent. And also the data saving, you see we're at 97% here. And at 97%, it's basically, it's happened, it's finished, okay? The scans are done. And basically we can check our scans, we can look at everything. And yeah, and if we want to send this, here we could make the model base, we could check undercuts and all those kind of things. I'm not going to go that in detail there because there's 5 minutes left. Here you go to send, and you press go to send, select the laboratory, for example, Ceratec, that's or Vanik, okay, and it goes to that laboratory automatically with all the information, with everything we want, okay? So this is the nice thing which we have here. And let me tell you, with this scanner in the laboratory, we also do lots of model scanning, okay? So if we have a difficult case, we scan the models with this. Let me just quickly finish this case and just go here. I pressed export. Please wait. So it's finishing the whole case here. It's exporting it to the file. Okay. So I go here to the home button, press this home button. The screen is here. Make a new order. Let me just get a patient, and then let's say implant. I just want to show you what's the difference when you do an implant. This will be the implant here. Custom abutment. Yeah, let's say screw retained. Huh? Did I get the patient's age? Without age, nothing will happen. Just put a number. Doesn't matter what number you put in there. Save it and scan. Now let me show you how you do. What you have here, one screen more for an implant. This here. Before we had the restoration, we only had this one, and this one. Okay, upper, lower, and this. And now we have one more screen. So the first thing you do is you scan the patient's the upper jaw, like we did before. So you take the camera, you go here, you scan. Okay. Now it depends on the situation. If you have an implant situation where the, let me just get this a little better, this scan here. I'm just doing really fast, not to lose too much time. Normally in the situation, the dentist would try to remove the healing part here, the healing, what you call the healing cap, which is in here. If he doesn't remove the healing cap, then you just scan it with the screw in there, okay? And you have to just say it yourself. Be sure that the contacts are good. Here, the contact is not so good. This is the most important thing here, is that the contact is good. This side also. The rest is not important on this scan. So this is the first scan. So I say, okay, finish. Now to jump to this picture here. It's at this picture here. You see this this circle here on the screen, this round window. Okay. So with the right mouse, you move your picture here, make the picture bigger or smaller, and you say, okay, just here, double click on this area. Double click and say, okay. And what's going to happen is it's going to save your data green. So this is the data of the first scan, which the contacts have been perfect, everything has been perfect, okay? And now you take your model, just get it, I've got a scan body here. So you get the scan body of that implant system, you put it in here, and always look that the scan body looks to the labial side, okay? The flat area should look to the labial side. I'm not going to screw this in because I have to unscrew it and screw it. I lose too much time. But normally you have to tighten it very well. Now the next thing is you take your scanner and you just scan this part. Okay. What you see here, the scanner, the scan body is basically only scanning the scan body. There is no additional information added to this green model. That's why originally it has to be scanned very well. I finished this now, and I would say, okay, normally you scan the lower. I'm not doing that. You can skip this here. This is very nice. I'm not going to scan the bite. I just want to show you, if you want to go back to scan, I don't want to go back to scan. Optimizing the jaw, and it's now scanning it, okay? Come on. Now, because we isolated that scan body, we didn't have to scan the whole jaw. So it was first saved green, and now it will add that scan body to the rest of the jaw. So then we'll have two jaws. And implant, I say implant is the best using the intraoral scanner. There is nothing better. Where I would be careful is with total jaws, okay? So what we see here is now the scan body in place, okay? And if I remove the scan body here, this will be the situation. So when we save this file, we'll have two files, one STL like you see here, and one STL with the marker, okay? So now we have these two files, and in the ExaCAD, you can design it. If you want to scan, for example, a situation where you need a construction bite. Let me see if I got it here. Okay, you see here, bite is like this, but you want to have the bite open, let's say for some kind, let's say sleep apnea device in protrusion, and you make a bite, or for some monoblock or something orthodontic. Basically, you would scan it. You would scan it like this in this position. So you have the bite, you would scan like this, okay? Left, right, and front. So this way the model will stay in this open position. And you can do whatever, Michigan bite splint or whatever you want, you can scan in the right position. This is very, very nice to have this. And it works all the time. So yes, this was basically it about the whole scanner. And let's see if we can have some discussion here. Let me go back to my original screen. How do I get back here? Oh, I don't know. Do you see me, all of you? Hello?
Yes, Vanik, we can see you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you saw everything? Okay, I can hardly hear you. Okay. Because somehow it doesn't show me myself anymore. But okay. So you have any questions?
You tested the beta function?
Not as yet, no. Because I just installed the software this morning.
Ah, okay.
So that's why, you know, I've not checked any other functions here.
Yeah, because you know this beta MA registration, the movement of the jaw, like you get it the real movement, like articulator, not only the basic. That's I wondering about your opinion and experience about this case. You need to test it.
I first need to test it, but that's why I've not mentioned anything about it, because I thought I need to first test it. The idea is fantastic, you know, that we can simulate all the movements which the patient has. And so, you know, that's why I think, yes, you know, I think we will see a lots of possibilities in future, and especially if we can combine this, all these things with, you know, with the Arco Stigma, whatever systems they are on the market, we can even combine it with that. We will have very, very nice occlusions. You know, the X-Snap, this new articulator, which is in the Exocad Rijeka since last week from Oliver Hill. They have made a prototype version where you can basically from a digital scan, you can copy your condyles, and now you can make custom designed condyles. So it's no more like a steady articulator. Every patient has their, on the model, you print the model with their original condyles, and you can basically make all the movements. So we're seeing lots of possibilities coming together, you know. So that's why I'm really very, very excited with all the possibilities. And you know, and the Elegant 3 is really, I think you've all seen it, how fast it is. You can be nervous, you can do whatever you want, and it always it works. And that's the fantastic part of this scanner. And all the courses I've been teaching with the scanner for many dentists, for technicians, and we are so far nowadays, we said maybe we will not buy a table scanner anymore. We'll just buy Elegant 3 in future for the lab to scan all the work, okay? Because it's so easy. You can scan all your models. You don't need a lab scanner. Sure, if you're doing very complicated implant cases, maybe a lab scanner is a little bit more, gives you more security.
If I may suggest, all from the users, if you want to test about how good this scanner, please scan it some Gibbs model with your laboratory scanner. Then wait maybe half year even and scan the patient again with the scanner and compare the position. I do this, I have an opportunity to do this like this, and check it the patient with the real months cases from the half years, and 98% it's be the same. Then I see, wow, the devices what I tested before and use it, I don't get it the same accuracy from sometimes, you know, always something is movement change, they not scan the same. And this scanner scan exactly like the full laboratory scan. I get it the same position of the teeth, 98%. Of course, because patients have missing one teeth, that's this 0.2 is little bit movement because they wait from the restoration. That's Vanik, what they say. They know very well about the accuracy and tested. But if you want it, please ask some local dealer or something when you have the possibility and scan it, laboratory and intraoral scanner. Then you are be so in the shock information that this is possibility to work, not like the top of the models, they have a problem with the full arch cases or something like this is not a nice fitting.
Exactly, 100%. You're 100% right. And you know, one thing you should keep in mind, all of you, anybody out there who's saying they can do a full digital denture, you know, with the scanner, there's so many people nowadays that claiming they can do dentures, full digital dentures. It is not possible to do a full digital denture with the intraoral scanner, because moving tissue, you can't scan, okay? So the gingiva areas where you have to have the nice finished denture line, which has to be exactly adapted, you can't scan that. No scanner can do that unless you make a conventional impression and then you scan that. But then you are not fully digital. So everybody is lying out there who says we do fully digital dentures. Nobody in the world can do that at the moment. So if somebody says they can do full digital dentures, just don't trust them. Just don't believe them, because it's maybe semi-digital, okay? So that's why I always say semi-digital, yes, you can do a semi-digital. You can set it up on Exocad and whatever and do something. But fully digital dentures is not possible. And that's why don't believe what many people, many speakers out there are saying, oh, or companies like Ivoclar are pushing full digital dentures nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, they say we can do full digital. It's not true. Okay, it's not true. And
it's not easy, because when you use CBT and intraoral scanner, everything, and you know it spent lots of energy, I think you are be created in the lab. But like you say, it's not like one buttons and they create full digital dentures. Like you say, it's not possibility. That's why you need to much more information to do this, because soft tissue is soft tissue. It's not easy. That you need to measurement, you need to see more deeper to get the information.
There are some people asking some questions. They say, what about accuracy when you have a full arch case? You know, somebody wrote here in the chat. And the thing is, if you have full arch case, okay, and it depends how big the gap is between the preps. If you have a full arch case and you have a lot of preps, then it's from start to finish, it's perfect. Problems can happen if you have big gaps in between, because the correlation information, you know, like if you have lots of small teeth in between, there's enough information to match it together. But if you have big areas where there are no teeth, it could happen that it's maybe not so accurate. It can happen, okay? But I think it's still more accurate nowadays than the impressions, because impressions and gypsum, which expand, we don't have that, okay? So that was the first thing. And the other thing was also with implant abutments, okay? Say it like this, I am not 100% sure any scanner in the world, if you have, let's say, 4 implants in the mouth, okay? And you want to scan those, and then you have big gaps in between each implant. How accurate that is, it depends always on the situation, how much correlation information is there. If there's enough information to match the pictures, it'll be accurate. If the tissue is very flat and smooth, it could give some inaccuracy. If you make too many pictures, you know, too many pictures when you scan can also give inaccuracy. So it's difficult to say yes or no, but compared to impressions, it's become very, very accurate, because we don't have gypsum expansion, we don't have any change of material during the impression time. So I would say we can say the scans for implants is a must, because patients who have, let's say, old restorations in the mouth, old bridges, and they're getting 1 implant and use impregum, try to remove it, sometimes they pull out the whole crown, okay? So, you know, be a little bit careful with some of the conventional implant impressions. Okay, any other questions? Anybody else has any question or no? Or
I do. Hi.
hi.
I just have a small question. What version is the software you have?
Let me just
I mean,
check.
because I do have the same software, but it seems to be an older version or something. And how do I update mine?
Okay, the version I have now, I have the newest version. I just installed it this morning, because the newest version has basically the possibility to, one second, where was it here? Intraoral scan. Let me just check here on my screen. It's version at the end 3104, and just been introduced last week. And you must be having 3063. So now we have version 3.1.
That's the version I have, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now with this new version, there's some new points like Wojciech mentioned, where basically you can simulate it's better, the jaw movement. And there are a few things which have been improved, especially scan depth, more accuracy when you're scanning it. So there are lots of small improvements which you don't see, okay?
Okay. So we don't need to update it right now. It's not fully launched yet, right?
It's today. I just received it, so I think now it's being launched from today on. So that's why I just installed it before I started the presentation, and I was not sure, you know, if it'll be working. So that's why I'm always scared when something new comes. I usually wait maybe, you know, 2-3 weeks and to hear from the others how if they had problems before I put it on. That's why I don't like to beta test like these softwares for intraoral scanners, because I'm too busy in the lab. You know, I don't have the time to do all these kind of things. So that's why. But I installed it, and it smoothly. It worked perfectly. I had really no things. There are a few
That's really
things
good.
which I'll have to still learn myself on the software.
Yeah, of course. But I just have one more question. How do I download the new version?
What? How?
How do I upgrade my version? How do I upgrade to the new version?
When you download this from Aidite, they will send you a link. You just install it. I did a right click on the software and as administrator install it, and it overwrites your old software, and that's it.
Okay, how do I get the link from Aidite?
Check with your Aidite dealer.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, any other people questions or? There's somebody here. Here, I have a question about scan body. How important is scan body design for scanning precision, and is important to have original scan body for implant system? The thing is, you have to have the scan body of that implant manufacturer. You know, you can't combine, let's say, a Medentika scan body with somebody else's system, because then you can't print your models. Okay, you can't make 3D models and all those kind of things. So it's important that you always stick. You have to know the implant system. Let's say you have a Straumann implant system, and you want to use a scan body from Medentika. That's no problem, because then Medentika has also the printable analogs. Okay, so it is no problem. Let's say for Ankylos system, we don't use the original ones because they're so small, the scan bodies, and I think it's very difficult. It's not so accurate, so we use the ones from Medentika there. The thing is, we also use a lot of scan bodies from NT Trading. They have some very good scan bodies for the system. Some of the scan bodies are very thick, and you have a very small, narrow, let's say, gap. They don't fit in there. So that's why we always we try to use. We have been using a lot of the Medentika scan bodies, but I'm sure you find some other manufacturers out there. If the scan body, if the library is good, then you have no problem. The only problem comes if your company where you have the scan body from doesn't have the lab, what do you call, the abutments and the lab analogs for 3D printing. That's, you know, yeah. Somebody says when we used IPD scan body in lower jaw and implant bridge didn't fit. Huh. I don't, you know, could happen. We make an impression, sometimes also doesn't fit. But what we have seen, I have been seeing this now much more with the implant cases, because I scan a lot with the dental office. Many dentists don't have the scanner, so they ask me, can you come? Because I'm scared to use an impression, because I'll pull out the old teeth. And most of dentists don't make an X-ray. So when you put the scan body in, they always have to make an X-ray with the scan body, okay, to see if it's down. And I've had many cases where the scan body, he made the X-ray, and then there was a millimeter gap, so it was not down. Then I said, okay, so the dentist, you know, he tightens it, so now we can scan. I said, make another X. Oh no, we don't have to make another X. I said, please make one. I'm here, you know, I don't want to redo the case. Makes another X-ray, still not down. So basically, if the thing was not down, you have to really release it, move a little bit the scan body, and then tighten it. So on the X-ray, it has to be down. This is usually a case situation where your bridge will not fit if the scan body is not 100% down, or if you're doing a crown, it's going to be too low or too high or whatever. Okay, if there are mistakes, usually it's too low then. So just be careful. The dentist should always basically make an X-ray with the scan bodies, always. Okay. Thank you. And from my side, I want to say thank you. Very nice. We had, you know, more than 40 participants from everywhere of the world, you know, from all parts of the world. So thank you very much. And I hope we will see each other soon in one of the parts of the world. I just came back yesterday from Korea. So I had a 13.5 hours flight and I came to the lab. I'm shocked. The table is full of work. So it's like, oh, now it's like, you know, wake up and start working. It's already 11 o'clock. So it'll be a long, and everybody's calling me now. It'll be a long day today. I think from tomorrow on, I should be back in shape. Everybody, all my employees are, you know, complaining. They leave us alone, and you know, everything is chaos. But it's like everywhere in the lab, you know, you all are in the same boat like I am. We have all the same problems, and you know, we all have to somehow survive. And I must say, I have to really, with Aidite, you know, and also with this big group that we're becoming with this art tech, we can communicate very openly. We can discuss with each other. You know, we can say, oh, bullshit. We can say good. We can say rubbish. You know, we don't have to hide anything because we are all grown-ups. We're all so I accept any critics and I give critic back, and then, you know, and then we have a beer afterwards or a drink or whatever, and everything is okay. And this is the way it should be. And that's why I hope, you know, one day the whole art tech is not only just on the screen like this, that we will meet at Aidite one day, all of us, and can have really some fun and, you know, and boom, 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 and enjoy our time. So thank you very much from the Aidite side. Thank you for all listening, and see you very soon again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Vanik.
very good present.
Bye.
Thank you, Vanik.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Joel.
Bye.